I'm here with my friend James Townsend. This guy has an extreme amount of character. You just have had such an interesting life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's lived on the East Coast. This guy's lived in Iowa, which he's moving there. We don't speak of that state. Tell us about some of the things that life has brought you.
Life has brought me to be still. I'm originally from Bronx, New York, so the south part of Bronx, Webster Avenue, and it's the projects. I'm 33, so most people at my age don't even see 30 or 33 or 25, 20. Now when I look back on it, I could say that the type of upbringing that I wanted to have and that my kids having, it's not even comparable.
You have really sacrificed a lot to make sure that they can have life and further opportunities that you never were afforded or set up to have.
Absolutely. It's what we all should invest as parents, and
Right.
that's time and love.
Right.
You know, when I look back on it, I think my mother mainly, she was a single mother. By her working 2 or 3 jobs and her being, stuck in her own life, there really wasn't no time.
Right.
Time meaning there really wasn't no dialogues to have, like, sex, girls, everything. When I was growing up, I was afraid to tell my mother that I was having sex.
Right.
There was always that fear. There wasn't that talk.
She didn't have the time, and so because she didn't have the time, the trust wasn't present.
Right. The trust wasn't present, and then, there was love. There was love there, but I strongly feel her love that she could have put out towards her kids were being put out into other people, meaning,
Right.
men and everything,
Right.
and my DAD, I have, God is working with me on this and everything, but, I have certain feelings about my biological father, and, I don't like to say his name, but she was more focused on him.
Yeah.
By me being a parent now, those 2 attributes of time and love is just important.
You played for University of Iowa and Rutgers football, right?
Right.
And then you were in the NFL. You were in the Chiefs.
No, Chicago. The other C.
The other two, one can always hope. You just qualified for the Olympics.
Well, I just placed 7th in the nation as a 94 kg, which is 207, 207 pounds lifter. So
Weightlifting.
Weightlifting, yeah.
Let's just compare here. You are on your way to qualifying for the Olympics. You played for the NFL. You played for 2 top-rated schools. And yet, when I've known you, the number one thing this guy talks about, and I'm dead serious about this, his wife and his kids. He spends so much time with his kids. And he doesn't complain, where some guys will complain and say, oh, how can we get daycare? How can we drop them off? You post pictures of you spending time with your kids. You look forward to it. And I see the way they trust you. What are some steps we can take to be parents that really invest in our kids?
I think you have to look back at your past. Some people say, you don't want to dwell on your past, but to me, healing, if you want to get better, you have to look back at your past to where you can say, all right, this is what happened, or this is what I did. So moving forward, I want to make sure that I don't make that same mistake. How my parents were with me, for some reason, even as a young kid, I always realized that I don't want to be like them. Mainly, I don't want to be like my father.
Right.
So when I had my oldest daughter at 17, a lot of people were saying, oh, he should be kicked out of school. They shouldn't allow this. You're having a nigger baby. You're having a zebra baby. All this stuff was being thrown at me. And I was even getting that from at home. She need to abort this baby. She need to give it up. You have a future to think about. Me, and realizing that, hey, I made this decision. I laid down with this lady. I'm protected. I made this decision, so I'm gonna be a man and stand up.
You took responsibility.
I took responsibility, and I felt as if that it was the right thing to do. To where other people were saying me, no, you're a young kid, you shouldn't be doing this. You're only 17. You still have one more year of high school to go. You have this whole big career. But here's a person, a baby who needs a father. Mm-hmm. And her father is going to be there for her, and her father is not going to run away. She was taken away from me through hatred, through bigotry, through racism. It's one of them things to where by me being a young father and me being black, the system was against me.
Right.
The parenting being stripped from me to be able to give that and allow my daughter to receive the time and the love, that also fueled me into wanting to become even more of a better person, more of a better husband, and more of a better father. I always said to myself that the next time I have a child would be by the woman that I married. And 5 years ago, I married the love of my life, Amy Townsend. We have our daughter, Princess P, Princess Townsend, and the rest is history.
When difficult circumstances arise, this guy rises above it.
Trust me, there's times when I wanted to lash out. I get mad. I wanted to fight. But God always, His grace always kept me still. My heart didn't allow myself to hate others just because they were hating me. What I went through with my oldest daughter, I think, as you mentioned earlier about how my kids are in the gym with me and always with me, I think that's the security that I have. Like, I always want my kids next to me.
For the parents out there who think that their kids are getting in the way, they love their kids, but they have these bigger goals they want to try to meet, but they have to be a parent, and somehow they think that this is greater than this. What's one thing you would say to people who are really struggling with that?
Lead them into the future to help them create a better one.
Because they are your legacy, right?
That's it. That's what it's about. If we want to see this world be a better place, it starts with our kids. It starts at home. To hate someone or to have these feelings about a certain person, it's taught at home. It starts at home. So I firmly believe that, if we could raise our children up the right way, lead them into the future, because it starts with us. I'm my daughter's first role model. Mm-hmm. So the man that they will marry, they would judge them based off of who I am.
Right.
And how I carry myself. So I would hope, and I'm guessing they would see like, hey, look, you would, this is how my father is. This is how my father lived. This is how my father loved. This is how my father talked. This is how he walked. I expect a man to be just like my father. And that's how, and that's the same way how Jesus is. Mm-hmm. The way Jesus walked, talked, lived, and everything, that's how we should be. You lead them into the future to create a better one.
That's gold. Lead them into the future to create a better one. Man, thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
Take care.